Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we are in Equalizer War. You all know the drill. I'm going to feature my 6 war flags with commentary. Without further ado, let's get into my 6 war flags. With my first flag, we're going to go up against this Fergus tank team. They've also got Tetisheri, Dueler Friller, Medea, and Verity. I've got 5 Woodland Fawns who will all have a 100% chance to resist both the instant mana reduction and the negative mana ailment from Fergus. Using this strategy usually works out pretty well for me. We're just going to tile dump up against Fergus. I am going to start off with the 3 greens up against Fergus. I'd really like to match those purples, set up the green and yellow cascades to do some tile dumping, but that's a lot of tiles up against Dueler Friller and Tetisheri that I don't really want. Let's match the 3 yellows vertically up against Dueler Friller, or rather against Fergus, and see what happens here. Alright, cascade of greens. Now let's match the blues up against Fergus. Really trying to just match tiles up against him if I can. Let's match the 4 reds in the middle bottom here. Let's match the 3 yellows up against him now. Three greens, which will give me Peregrine and Bramble. Let's use Peregrine first to heal. Give me that mana thing, which will give me enough mana, or rather, the Equalizer is going to go off and then give me mana next turn. Let's hit the 3 on the right. Yeah. And then let's move over this 1 red tile. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move over the red dragon and match those 3 reds up there. So I should get Tamlin, Ascian, and Isidore. Perfect. Okay, let's use Ascian first and then Tamlin. Now let's use the main part of Isidore on... Is this the fighter or the ranger version? It's the ranger version of Medea. Okay, that works out great. Let's use Isidore on Medea. Almost everybody's dead. Cool. Let's just kill off Fergus, I think. Actually, let's ghost these 3 red tiles. Now let's match the 4 purples. And we've got Isidore and Tamlin. This will be the end of the battle. Alright, we are 1 for 1 to start off this war. With my next flag, we're going to bring 4 greens and a blue up against this Song Jiang tank team. They've also got Tetisheri, Tamlin, Bramble, and Isabel. I've got Grovert to give out a Mega Fiend. I've got Fafnir for that extra damage and the Arctic Core, although it's not going to work as well because of Equalizer. I've got Fungustine as an overhealer, Kolya for the Mega Minion that safely cleanses at the end of each turn, and then I've got Thalassa as an overhealer and ailment immunity. Let's see how this second flag goes. I'm going to start off with the blues and reds up top. The 4 blues and 3 reds. That's going to set off that cascade of greens also. Nice. And some more blues so I can get Thalassa already. considering holding off on Thalassa for a turn, just trying to figure out my next move. Let's match the 3 reds horizontally in the middle. And then I'm going to match the 3 reds all the way on the right, because Equalizer is about to go off. And I don't want the ailment immunity getting wiped out. Alright, now let's use Thalassa. And I would love to get some more green tiles. Let's match these 3 greens on the right first. Now let's match the 3 blues up top, setting off that cascade of purples underneath. Nice cascade of greens. It's going to give me all 3 of my green specials. Awesome. All right, now Equalizer is about to go off. I am going to use Grovert, or rather, I'm sorry, Kolya, so they can get the full Mega Minion. Song Jiang is dead. Let's put the full Mega Minion on Tamlin. He's definitely the biggest threat. Then I'm going to hold off on Fafnir and Fungustine until after Equalizer goes off. Let's match. Or do I want to just hit that purple dragon in the middle? It's going to set off a cascade of blues, which would set off Tamlin. Let's not do that. Let's match the 3 blues up against Isabel. I don't want to match the 4 blues up against Bramble. I don't want to set him off. Or he could... Okay, not yet. He'll probably get hit next turn. Now let's use Fungustine, and I'm going to use Fafnir on the left side here. Tamlin is almost dead. Man. Tamlin's going to go off before he gets killed, I think. Let's match the 3 blues. I've only got 1 blue tile. It's definitely not going to kill him, but if I can get lucky with a cascade, maybe... Nope. Alright, Tamlin's dead. Let's use Thalassa to heal. I'm gonna try to go some tiles in the middle if I can. Let's match the 3 greens up against Bramble. I'm going to hit the purple dragon to move up those greens. So I can match 3 greens next turn. Nice cascade with the blues. Let's use Thalassa to heal. Ghost these 3 green tiles, which will give me my green specials. And I'm going to wait till after Bramble goes off to use the full Mega Minion from Grovert. And... I'm going to wait to use the others also. Let's use Kolya first, though. I'm going to hit the blue diamond. Nice cascade with the greens. Not quite enough to kill Bramble yet, though. Alright, let's use Thalassa, Fungustine, and Fafnir on the 2 on the right. Let's put the Mega Fiend on Tetasheri. That way I can probably do some nice damage over here on the right to Bramble with the green diamond. Yep, he's dead. Cool. We've got our specials back. This battle should be over shortly now. Nice cascade with the green diamond. Tetasheri's dead. Isabel is going to be dead again, but is she going to revive? Yep. Please don't keep reviving. Awesome. All right, we are 2 for 2 now. With my third flag, we're going to bring an all-Astral Dwarf team up against this Lion Boyar tank team. They've also got Lee Q, Satin Pimenter, Mordowich, and Orakark. Why am I bringing an all-Astral Dwarf team to this team, you ask? Well, they've got 4 moths, so every single turn they are going to attempt to put moth dust on me, and dwarves and fawns resist moth dust and will gain mana every single time that moth dust is attempted to be put on them. So this battle should be a pretty automatic win, similar to Fergus teams when I bring dwarves and fawns. Let's see how this third flag goes. I'm going to start off with the blues and yellows on the right, I think. Yeah. I'm going to match the 3 reds horizontally so that next turn I can hit that yellow dragon and set off a couple cascades of greens. Now let's match these blues and purples here. That's going to give me Orker. I think I might wait a turn to use Orker, though. Let's match these 3 purples up top with that dragon. It's going to give me Heigl, I think. Perfect. Mordowich is about to go off. Let's use Heigl on Lee Q. Still waiting to use, or what's his name? Papa Smurf over there. Waiting to use him until after Mordowich goes off, so I can get a little bit of a heal from that. Let's might as well throw some tiles up against Mordowich, since she's about to go off anyway. Quite the cascade. We've got Vard and Saris now. Awesome. Oof, that was a lot of damage to Heigl. He is going to be dead. Let's use Vard first. And I'm going to use Saris on Orakark over there. It should travel to Satin Pimenter, Lee Q, and one other. Nice, Lee Q is dead. And we've got a couple silenced folks over here. Let's match these 3 blues. That'll give me Ixen. And Heigl is still alive. That's cool. Let's hit everybody over here with Ixen. This might kill Orakark and Satin Pimenter and Lion Boyar. Awesome. Alright, this battle was as easy as I thought it was going to be. Very nice. We are now 3 for 3. With my fourth flag, we're going to bring 4 purples and a yellow up against this Glass Richard tank team. They've also got Beowulf, Fafnir, Zaza, and then Suo Mohaki. All 5 of my heroes, or rather all 4 of my purples, will get their specials in just 7 tiles. Cleopatra in 9, obviously, but I've got some pretty hard-hitting heroes on this team, and this is part of my new 4-1 setup that I'm using with my purples. Let's see how this 4th flag goes. Not a good board for purples, but this is why I play 4-1 and not mono. Alright, let's start off with the 3 yellows on the bottom left before they get separated over there. Now let's match the blues and yellows here in the middle. Let's match this yellow diamond. It's going to give me Cleopatra. I'm going to wait for Richard to go off to use Cleopatra. Let's match the 3 reds to force Richard to go off. Of course, a cascade of yellows. Alright, let's use Cleopatra now, and then I would be able to get Cleopatra special again right away if I hit the yellow diamond. Yeah, let's hit the yellow diamond, because next turn I can hit the blue dragon to match some purples up top, finally. I'm going to hold on to Cleo for a moment. Let's hit that blue dragon. It's going to give me 4 of the purple tiles I need between the dragon and then this cascade right here. And we're finally going to get some more purples. Don't set off Fafnir yet, thank you. And don't kill the middle Medea, please. Thank you. All right, let's use Cleopatra. Heals and then also cleanses 1 ailment. And then she's going to make it so I cannot gain any other ailments, which will be helpful with Fafnir going off right now. Now, let's match the 3 purples up against Richard. We've got all of our purple specials. Let's heal first with Dia-chan. I am going to use one of the Medeas, the weaker one, on Suo Mohaki, because he is a barbarian class, so that will definitely work on him. And then let's hit the middle 3, or the right 3 rather, with the other Medea. And then I'm going to kill off Richard, I think. Yeah. Alright. Now we're looking in better shape. Now, let's match the 3 purples up against Beowulf. Let's hold off on that, actually, because that would set him off. Let's match these reds over here so I can match the 4 purples next turn. Alright, Beowulf is going to go off anyway, so we may as well match some purples up against him, and then I can match 4 purples next turn. Just kidding. One of them moved. So I can get Sartana and Dia-chan if I match just the 3 purples, but I'm not going to be able to get the other Medeas, I don't think, because their second charge takes a little longer. So let's move up the purple tile. I guess that'll work too. I was going to match 4 purples next turn, but I'll take that. Let's match these 3 purples now. And it just barely did not set off Fafnir. All right. Let's use one of my Medeas over here on the left. Dia-chan to heal. Let's use the other Medea on the right over here. Yeah. And then I'm going to use Sartana on Beowulf. Let's match these purple tiles. Match these reds. Give me another purple. Damn. Let's match these 3 yellows. We did get another purple. Nice. Let's use... actually, I'm going to hold on to DHN for a turn, I think. Let that frost shenanigan do a little bit more damage to me before I heal, although this might be over in a moment anyway. If Fafnir doesn't revive. Perfect, okay. The poison damage will kill Sumahaki this coming turn. Maybe not, because they have that passive. Alright, we're going to have to do some tile dumping and get some more purples before this battle's over. Cleopatra is one of the few healers in the game that can remove Mega Fiends by herself because of her passive on top of her normal heal. Alright, these purples will finally be enough to kill Sumohaki. We'll give Sartana the finishing blow. And we are 4 for 4. Very nice. With my 5th flag, we're going to go up against this Immigus tank team. They've also got Saris, Gander, Hathor, and Majestine. I've got 4 yellows, including Rosalind, who has the guard rally that removes wither effects at the end of every 4 turns. I've got Grimsteel for the attack growth, so those are my 2 healers. I've got Ruan Zauki, Salinus, and Satin Pimentor all as some hard hitters, and both Satin Pimentor and Ruan Zauki will dispel as well if Gander's counterattack is active. Let's see how this 5th flag goes. All right. Trying to see if I can move up that 1 yellow tile so that I can match a red diamond, but I don't think I can, because if I match the blues on the left, the reds are going to get matched with it. Although if a green happens to come underneath it on the left, that could work out. But is it really worth it for that chance to waste a move? Because I'd rather match the 4 blues in the middle to start. Yeah. Alright, now let's match these 3 yellows on the bottom. Let's match the 3 greens. If I can get a yellow on the bottom underneath, that would be great. We did, just in the wrong spot. Alright, let's match these blues and reds here. Yes, we have a yellow diamond as a cascade. That worked out beautiful. Of course, Immigus revived, but that's okay. Alright, we've got everybody but Ruan Zauki. He had a mana ailment, unfortunately. Let's use Rosalind first. And then I'm going to use Salinus's main version, or main hit, which silences on Immigus, I think. And then the second one is, or the second random hit is the target gets plus 50% extra damage. All right, let's hit, not Immigus actually. He's going to revive like 17 times probably. Let's hit, I'm having difficulty deciding between Gander, 1959 at shield, and they're both basically the same. Let's hit Saris with Salinus. And the other one went to Hathor. Let's now use Satin Pimentor on the left over here. I should have I thought that was Ron Zalki, man. That was a bad idea. Or bad move on my part. Should have hit the 3 on the left or the 3 in the middle. That was a waste. All right, well, let's move on. Let's match these 4 blues up against Hather. Let's match this purple diamond so I can do some tile dumping after. So annoyed about that satin pimenter hit. I'm like, oh, Rowan Zelki hits all. It doesn't matter who I focus on. But... Alright, let's match these 3 yellows. That way I can get Rowan Zelki. Definitely need to heal. So let's hit the yellow diamond, which will give me Rosalind. I'm gonna silence Saris. Let's match these 4 reds so that I can... Saris has ailment immunity. But that way I can get Grimsteel with that cascade. It worked out nicely. Of course, Grimsteel is silenced right now, but that'll go away after a turn because of the Mega Minion. Let's match these purples and greens here. Oh, don't set off Majesty. Thank you. Alright, let's use Grimsteel now. Match these 3 yellows up against Hather. Don't kill anybody, please. Oof, that was close. Alright, let's use Satin Pimenter first, over on the 3 on the left. And then let's use Ruan Zalki. Please kill Saris. Almost, but that curse damage should do it. Now, let's hope I get a yellow on the bottom. We did. Everybody stay alive, thank you. Alright. Imagus and Saris are dead. We've got our heal on. Let's hit Gander with Salnus. Ghost these 4 blue tiles. Hit this blue dragon. Use Grimsteel, then Ron Zalki, match this red diamond. Nice cascade with the yellows. And this might be the end of the battle. Awesome. All right. That one was a little dicey for a little bit, but we were able to clutch out a win. With my last flag, we're going to go up against this Bramble tank team. They've also got Astrid, Saris, Pepper Blue, and Domiventus. I've got my own Domiventus, Pepper Flame, Gestalt, and Marjana, which all 4 of them will activate in 7 tiles for their first charge. Domiventus and Gestalt activate in 9, I believe, after, sometimes 8, depending on what the mana situation is. And then I've got Astrid as a healer and reviver. If I can get 7 red tiles early, then that is going to definitely make this battle go quick, especially with Pepper Flame's extra damage from that defense down when the Equalizer goes off. All right. Not a terrible board here. I'd love to set off some sort of cascade, but I really don't see anything obvious. Let's start off with the 3 purples on the left, maybe, so I can match the reds over there. Actually, you know what? Instead, let's match the greens over here. Move up that purple. We did get a couple reds, or 1 red, rather. But that'll help. Let's match the 3 greens all the way on the right up against Domi Ventus. If I can get a red underneath it, or even in that spot underneath that, that will be huge, which we did not. Let's match these. All right, that was a nice cascade. Now we've got enough reds to do some work. Let's match the 3 reds up against Domi Ventus first. It's going to set him off probably, but that's okay. Now let's match the 3 reds up against Bramble. Let's match these. Oh, that's going to set off Ceres. Damn it. Oh, man. All right. Let's hit the green dragon. I think. Damn it. Let's match the blues up against Bramble. Ceres is going to go off anyway. Let's match the 3 reds up against him. It's going to silence everybody until the Equalizer gets rid of it. And Pepperfoot's dead. And Domi Ventus is dead. Alright, let's match this yellow diamond. Please, no more cascading. Alright, we're gonna have to hope that Astrid revives some people. Let's match these yellows first. Is Astrid asleep? The bar is gray, but there's no Z's. And I need her to heal and revive. Let's use Astrid. Please revive somebody. Nobody. Cool. Alright, let's hit the 3 on the left over here. After the Equalizer goes off, though. Damn it. So annoyed right now. Because of that potential for damage to 1. Let's match the purples and greens over here. Oh, it's going to set off Ceres because of the effect from Bramble. Man, this is a bad battle for me. Trying to do any damage that I can. But don't set off Astrid. Alright, Astrid's about to go off. Let's use Gestalt, and I'm probably going to have to flee. Man. Definitely feel like I misplayed this battle. But yeah, especially with Ceres about to go off. There's no way that I'm going to be able to come back from this. And the wither effects that I've got already. Yeah. All right. I'm going to flee. So we're good. So I ended up going 5 for 6. Definitely feel like I should have won that last battle, but I probably misplayed it. I'm going to have to definitely go back and take a look at what I could have done differently. If you all saw anything differently other than maybe waiting too long to use specials, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that one. As far as how my alliance is doing right now, we've got 3796 points with 84 flags left, and they've got 1882 with 108 flags left. We are doing extremely well. I know it's early, but it definitely looks like we are gonna come out with a win in this Equalizer war. Let me know how your war is going, and that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.